Today we have the key to the all-new 2024 Porsche Cayenne. The base model got a nice refreshment, and we're going to walk you through all of the interesting new things about this 2024 model variant. First up, let's talk about the front fascia, the fascia. It is much more refined, much more new, and Porsche loves these shark fins. You can see it all the way up to their top-of-the-line models, and it's coming down here on their base SUV. I must say, I like the look and feel of the front. You also have your adaptive cruise control up here and front-facing cameras. Overall, a good-looking car. Ton of ground clearance on the Porsche Cayenne. Not that you'd actually need it, because I don't think anyone really takes this car off-roading. Let's talk about these brand new headlights. These are the new LED matrix design headlights. Very cool design. They are now standard on all Porsche variants. While we're here, let's take a look at that engine, or what we can see of it. It is a 3-liter twin turbocharged V6, making about 350 horsepower and 370 pounds of torque. Now, if you want to get the faster, more badass version, definitely opt for the V8, the Cayenne S. That comes standard with the V8, but at least they keep the V6. Most of the changes are up front and in the inside, which we'll get to soon. Tons of cool new features in there. I do want to swing around to the rear and show you what you got in the trunk. Tons of space to work with here because it is an SUV. I think around 60 cubic feet if you put down the seats, and we'll do that shortly. But overall, as you can tell, tons of space. You got some storage over here to the left. Of course, your box to access your electronics should you need that. And I believe a spare tire is underneath here. But the point is you have tons of space. And let's go ahead in the rear and actually put down these seats so you can see what it looks like. I believe you come down here, this little lever, pop that down. As you can see, ton of space. You can fit a lot of stuff back here. Before we jump to the inside, let's talk about the wheels. We got 21-inch dual 5-spoke single block wheels set in Vesuvius gray. Good looking wheel, complements the Algarve blue metallic exterior. And you also have 6 piston brakes in front and 4 in the rear. Good stopping power, and what you could expect from Porsche. Overall, the exterior of the car is quite nice. Not much has changed outside of that front fascia. All right, let's jump in the back. So getting in the back here, the first thing you see is the giant panoramic roof. Awesome, very nice, very comfortable. We have white on black interior here with a armrest in the middle, 2 cup holders. In the center, you have 2 USB-C ports. Also, you have your climate controlled here. These do have the rear heated seats, which is becoming more and more standard. Looking at the door here, you got the nice door handle, which is roughly the same design that you see in the front, a Cayenne Classic feature. And overall, just good visibility. I like the look and feel of this car, and you can see everything through that panoramic roof. All right, now hopping into the interior. A lot of cool things to talk about in the interior up front, and most notably, it's screens. So we will talk about screens a lot in this review because I think they're very important. And let's see if we can lean over and start the car real quick just to show you. Oh yeah. Okay, so I want to start in the passenger seat because a lot more cars are getting the passenger princess screen, and the Cayenne, and this one in particular, has the passenger princess screen. It is an additional screen, roughly 12 inches, that the passenger princess, the one riding shotgun, can configure and use. And you'll see here shortly it was gonna populate. Apparently you can watch YouTube, Amazon Prime, HBO Max, everything, honestly anything you want. I tried to set this up and I couldn't really figure it out because it uses some type of weird streaming service and setup process, but you can see some telemetry. So you can see G-forces and speed, what drive mode you are in. So you don't need to look to the left to see those things. But overall, a very, very cool system here. And this is about a $1,900 option. Definitely a cool one. Look at that map, very high resolution. And the screen response is not bad, it's okay. I will say that there is this protective coating on it, so you actually can't tell, you're not supposed to be able to see it from the driver's side door or the driver's side position. There's this weird kind of privacy screen. Maybe that's coming through in the camera, but it definitely will when we drive the car shortly. Let's see if we can get ShiftyStan on here. Can we get ShiftyStan on here? All right, let's hop in the driver's side and fire this bad girl up. But first, before we do that, seatbelt safety first. And I also want to talk about what we're greeted with. Check this out. Brand new steering wheel on it. We got the Neodyme paddle shifters. Super fun and playful to use. These are off the 911, and it's the same steering wheel. That's off the 911. All your drive modes are here. You got your extra sport response if you want it. Then you have your volume control and your navigational scrolling wheel on the right-hand side. Looking at the left, you got all your seat positions, 3 to be exact. The same material that appears in the rear with this newly designed door handle, which I actually like. There you go. There's your Cayenne grab handle, and you can open and close the rear from here. And actually, which is interesting, is you need to actually hold down these buttons to do so, and there's an open and a close. So you can't just tap it. I noticed that, and it was actually kind of annoying to figure out at first, but overall, you know, I do like the overall button feel. All right, let's fire this bad girl up. This one is optioned with the sport exhaust, and it actually sounds pretty good. Take a listen. Now, I don't know if they're piping that in or what, but I would say that actually sounds pretty good for a base Cayenne with the V6 in it. All right, so screens. Let's talk about screens. Almost 36 inches of screens you have screens galore here, and as opposed to one giant one, you get 3. And I love the screen here, especially in the middle of this PCM. It's about a 12-inch screen, and it is super responsive, very powerful. You got your CarPlay, of course, and you can go down here to the car to control everything. Also new on the brand new Cayenne, you have the gear selector up here. It's no longer in the middle where it used to be. You actually have some storage here now. It is right here, and I do love the change overall. I think it's a good selection. The one in the middle was just a little weird, but you still have that pencil shifter, which is fine. Looking also in the middle, of course, you have your Cayenne grab handles here and here in case your passenger needs that. In the middle, you have heated and ventilated cooled seats, which you can turn on at the same time. You have the nice, very tactile buttons from Porsche. I love them. They are the best buttons in the game by far. In the middle here, you actually have a phone charger, so you can throw your wireless phone charger in here. And in the middle, 2 USB-C charging ports. Very good stuff. The phone charger, the wireless one, is actually really good. Back to the center screen. So here's how we can change our drive modes. You have normal, sport, sport plus, and off-road. You can raise and lower the car really well. It has off-road 2, off-road 1, normal, lowered, and low. Not sure what the difference between lowered and low is. This is, I guess, how Porsche, you know, is keeping the roots of its traditional Porsche Cayenne SUV design, the original one that came out almost 20 years ago now. Let's throw this thing into drive and get it onto the road. All right, first thing I will say about the new Cayenne is, boy, is it a joy to drive. You have an amazing viewing angle, tons of visibility in this cockpit, all your screens are at your disposal. It just feels good to be in command of the vehicle. I do like the ability to control all of the screen views, although I must say, if you're a soccer mom, they're probably pretty hard to figure out. You have all these different buttons, and I'm sure it's going to be kind of difficult. But overall, I'd say the ride quality is super good. We're actually going to jump into sport and see how it handles on this road. Of course, go into manual. Yeah, it's got a little pickup. I mean, it is 350 horsepower, but I'd say overall, like, the handling is just fantastic. Even in this sport mode, this PASM and adaptive air ride suspension is really good. You can kind of glide down the road, and especially in this kind of tighter, more sportier handling feeling, it's good. Let's go into Sport Plus, just give it a little ride here. Nice. So I'm in full manual mode here. Nice. It's quite grippy. I remember older Cayennes were super top heavy. This feels actually really low and nimble. It's not rolling on me like the older ones were. So let's talk price. This is a $79,000 base MSRP, but you probably will not get one for that much. This one ends up being $110,000 with options, And these are good options. I mean, you have these nice plush adaptive sport seats that are really nice. The leather in white is also an option, really comfortable. Ooh, new Hummer, love that thing. Want to review that for sure. I do love the controls and capabilities on this car. You know, it's not going to be the fastest at 350 horsepower. It's just going to be really, really solid, high-quality driving experience that you can't really get elsewhere outside of maybe a Mercedes or a top-of-the-line BMW. Now, I will say the V6 in the car is fine. It's nothing special. You don't really get a lot of pep, but you do get that comfort, and I do enjoy the comfort. Here you can see the different types of views that you have. Tons of options, and you can switch between each gauge. So if you want to see speedometer, or you want to see the sport chrono or the music you're playing, you can do all of that. The battery charge, all these things are configurable to your liking. So it's kind of infinite possibilities in terms of what you're going to see. But overall, I like the way this car drives. I think it handles quite well. It feels less like an SUV. Let's get the sport response here. Test the brakes. Brakes are pretty good. It's a little wet right now. Those Bridgestone's Alenzias are actually pretty good. So what's new on this car? You got the new front exterior with those new standard headlights. You also have an interesting new inside with a ton of screens, a ton of capabilities that you wouldn't otherwise see. The passenger princess can see the exact speed and critique you without looking to the left. That's a nice change, although it is kind of like, you know, is it necessary? Can I actually watch YouTube? Can I watch ShiftyStan on it? I don't know. Overall, I would say this car's newly upgraded features, are they worth the price of admission? Probably not. I would start at the Cayenne S if you got the dough to get the V8. That V8 is going to sound much better, be much faster, much more enjoyable. After all, it is an S, and it is one of the biggest kind of step-up improvements in terms of performance versus the base version of any Porsche. Like going from a Carrera to a Carrera S, you don't get that much horsepower jump, maybe even 20, 30 horsepower in some situations. But in the Cayenne, it is like almost like an entirely different platform. Porsche knows the buyer of this car. You know, they're trying to transport their kids to soccer practice, or they're trying to, you know, I don't know, go grocery getting and look nice in it and be comfortable and luxurious. That's the car for you. And it is obviously better than a Macan. The driving experience is 10 million times better than any Macan. I also reviewed that car. A link is above if you want to check it out. But overall, I like the Cayenne. I like the new refreshment. It is a good car. Is it worth the price of admission? I don't know. That's up to you. Anyways, till next time. Peace, everyone.